Hailey Reese and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am so grateful that you are here for day 2 of our 31 days of Halloween. I'm so excited for this month. There's so much content coming. So on that note, if you are not yet subscribed and you do enjoy my content and want to indulge in spooky season together, definitely go ahead and click that subscribe button. We would absolutely love to have you here. I know I definitely would. And yeah, it's gonna be a really fun month. If I seem like I'm a little bit hot right now, it's because I am. They've already switched over in my building from AC to heat, and it's still warm outside, so that's been lovely. But with that being said, I am so excited to dive into today's video because this one is absolutely bone chilling. I've told you guys so many times here on my channel that the paranormal does not put fear in me like the human race can at times, and one of my absolute biggest fears that I don't know why I keep putting it out there is home invasions. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie The Strangers, but that movie scared the absolute out of me. And I was living in a condo at the time and I was still super freaked out, like going to my kitchen. If you haven't seen it, it's a good watch, but definitely terrifying. Today we are diving into an encounter with a woman who believed something paranormal was happening when in reality it turned to a home invasion. I have absolute goosebumps from this one. So sit back, relax, maybe turn a light on because this one is definitely dark. Let's get into it. I haven't told this story to many people because even talking about it for a minute brings back the horror of what my family was going through at the time. I've never felt more violated and fearful than I did in those moments and wouldn't wish this experience on anyone. Here we go. I grew up in a small town out west. It was a place people felt safe, a place that most would leave their doors unlocked and just look out for each other. Obviously, my parents had taught me about the good old stranger danger and the risks out in the world, but I guess somehow my little bubble felt safe. I ended up getting married when I was 24 and having a little girl shortly after. My daughter was, and still is, my world. Shortly after having my daughter, my husband passed away, and I was left to take care of her all on my own. Our community really came together, and I felt like even more people were looking out for us. Now again, we felt very protected. One thing I will say though, is that everyone knew it was just my daughter and I now in our home. This is something that made me feel safe at the time, because they would look out for us. But now I look back, and I wish that wasn't the case. I've always been very spiritual. I had many of experiences myself as a child, and my little girl was no different. Even before the passing of her father, I could always see so much of myself in her and believe she likely had the same gift of me as seeing what's beyond our world. I didn't shelter her from the passing of her father and often talked to her about how Daddy was still with us and how even though he was in heaven, he could be felt all around us. One night, my daughter came running into my room scared. She said that there was a man inside of her closet, whispering to her. Thinking it was a bad dream, I walked my daughter back to her room and tucked her in, reassuring her that it was just that, a bad dream. I never checked the closet. This became a common occurrence though. I started to think that maybe my husband's spirit was visiting her, and naively, I found comfort in this. Like it really was, she had my gift. As time went on though, things started to seem strange. I noticed things were disappearing and moving to strange places throughout the night. Sometimes the milk would be out on the counter, or random lights would be on that I knew I'd shut off. I also knew it couldn't be my daughter because she couldn't reach most things in these instances. One morning, I awoke to a marker on the top of my daughter's wall writing, "Hello." She couldn't have reached that high and also didn't have good handwriting to match. This is where it gets really stupid. I know. I thought I was experiencing real-life paranormal activity and thought I could capture it. I decided to install cameras in my house to see what was really going on, but thank God I did. After 2 nights, things moved again, and I decided to check my cameras and see for myself what I was dealing with. Playing back the footage, I was met with the most disturbing reality. There were 2 men in my home while we slept. These men came in through the back door and welcomed themselves into my kitchen. They ate my food, they drank my milk, and slowly made their way to my daughter's room, where they positioned themselves in her closet, watching her for hours. At one point, one of the men walked over to my daughter and rubbed her head before taking one of her toys with him and leaving. I called the police immediately and was told, based off my experience, the men were clearly getting more and more comfortable in my home. We never found the men, and their intentions are still unknown. More disturbing was the fact that my daughter had mentioned a man in her room for months, and here I thought it was her dad visiting or some sort of paranormal activity. I ended up getting security systems, but months later we actually moved. I couldn't tolerate living there any longer. To this day, I feel so violated, watched, and terrified of the unknown. I don't feel safe in any home, no matter how secured it may seem. But beyond those fears, I carry a lot of mom guilt. Who were these men, and what did they want? I tell my story in hopes of releasing these fears and maybe, just maybe, warning somebody else. No matter how safe your town may feel, there's still demons among the kind, and they're not always paranormal. And that's the experience. This one gives me absolute chills. I had watched a whole video on froggers. If you guys remember, actually, there was a period where we believed there may have been froggers or something very strange happening on my mom's property. But essentially, froggers are people, usually harmless, who leap to different houses, and they live unnoticed within your walls, normally in unoccupied rooms, and within the night they'll get up and eat your food, drink your drinks, live among you, and then eventually after a couple of days they jump to the next pad and move to someone else's house. And that is something that is so eerie to me. I've seen so many different movies where people are lingering around and others are so naively just going about their day. I obviously don't really have those fears now at all, living in a condo, very different than living in a home. But I even remember when Tyler would be away on tour or just out of the house during the night, and I'd be there alone when I lived in this big 4-bedroom house, I would hear these noises and think okay, what if it's not paranormal activity? What if it's not just a creaky house and there's somebody in here? My home was broken into when I was a kid. I've actually done a story time on that if you guys want to see it. It's on my channel. But it just really gives me the heebie-jeebies, and diving into so much true crime, there's a bunch of cases I'm going to be covering this month specifically. It makes you just more aware of things that could happen. So this gives me the absolute chills. I'm so curious to hear your guys' thoughts and theories on this. I also would love to know if you have ever had an experience like this, or what your view is on the world. Are you more afraid of the unknown, of the paranormal, or situations like this? Let me know down in the comment section below. I also just wanted to take a very quick moment and ask you guys to let me know any video requests that you have for the month of October. I'm so curious to see what kind of content you want to see from me this month. Trust me, I have a few huge videos planned that I'm so excited to share with you, and cases that I already have on my list to cover. But I always love hearing what you guys enjoy watching from me, what you want to see. Do you want more true crime based videos? Do you want me to go on more investigations? Absolutely let me know. This is my passion, but this is our channel, and I just love creating content for you guys that you watch and enjoy. So let me know down in the comment section below, and that is it for today's video. If you guys are new to my channel, or you are just not yet subscribed but you do enjoy my content, I would absolutely appreciate it more than you would ever know if you would go ahead and click that subscribe button, and please give this video a big thumbs up if it's one that you enjoyed. These types of things just really freak me out, so I hope that you guys enjoyed hearing about it. That sounds so ironic, it's so scary, so I hope you liked listening. But it is spooky season nonetheless. Remember, my loves, to do all things with kindness, and until tomorrow, I love you. Bye, guys.